Hey, good morning. Um, Going on my morning walk here. Just thought I would stop in and talk a little bit about entrepreneurship. It's kind of a hard word to spell and say sometimes, but one of the things that I guess I've always felt like an entrepreneur, even when I was a little kid. I remember starting out, we had a paper route, and although that wasn't really entrepreneurial, when you're a first grader delivering papers, 1,300 papers every week, then that could be a big thing. And sorry, there's the dog down there. Then we mowed lawns. We had lawn mowing business. We did that for several years, all the way really through middle school to high school and college. Even in high school, I got in trouble occasionally with it, but I sold cinnamon toothpicks. I would make cinnamon toothpicks at home and take them to school and sell them for 10 cents a piece. And it's kind of funny, but actually make enough money to make more, and then eventually got in trouble because you weren't supposed to having gum or toothpicks or anything else in the class. So, but that was the small thing I did. Sorry, man, I'm just out of breath already. Went up the first hill, and can tell I need to get back to the gym. Anyway, I really always felt like an entrepreneur, or at least had the ability to make extra income. Kind of always looking for ways to make money myself, and then not be so reliant on others. Even with the paper route, growing up, I remember we made like $33 a week. That was after my sister quit. Before that, I think it was like $18 a week. But for really for a kid in elementary school to be able to make that much money a week and to be able to save and pay for things, I know I would be able to go buy toys, Hot Wheels. I was a big Hot Wheel collector. And one of my largest purchases as a kid was the Optimus Prime Transformer, which I still have, the first generation one. Some people say it's worth a couple $100, but I'm not really ready to sell it. But little things like that, just being able to have the ability, especially as a young kid, to buy things and to do things and to have cash. I bought my first car with cash, and additionally I bought several other cars with cash through the years. But being able to take something, whether it be a service, something that you make and sell it, that's always been kind of part of my DNA, and I think with most entrepreneurs it is. People try to teach entrepreneurship, but while you can teach concepts, you can't teach the overall skill of it. I think sometimes that skill is just a DNA, whether it's just a talent. Someone may be musical, or somebody may be great at math. Other people, in my opinion, are just good entrepreneurs. And that's kind of a program. So when someone thinks they want to be an entrepreneur, it's almost like either you are or you aren't. And that's kind of the interesting thing about it. been working with our local school district on a few things, and that really came to light because there are school teachers, which are good meaning school teachers. They may be able to teach concepts, but if you've never been a business owner, if you've never been an entrepreneur, it's really hard for them to teach those skills because they don't really know the skills. When you can grow a business from nothing to something, and just meaning that you're making money, you've got some sort of income with it, that's huge. And if you've never done that, it's hard to show people and tell people how to do it. I think there's a lot of well-meaning people online that have good courses, things that you can take, but a lot of times they're just showing you how they have built an online business of teaching people online training. So it's kind of weird. It's not really a true business model per se. They may be making money at it, but I think a lot of people search for that quick next idea, and it's really hard sometimes to decline those offers because I want to learn. I want to learn from the Tai Lopez's of the world, and but a lot of times your learning takes place just by doing it and making sure that you learn from those things. I think you can get good tips from other people, and I think having a good community around you is helpful because when I first started, I did not have that, and still to an extent I don't. I'm seeking that out more and more, but it's hard to find those other like-minded people that can encourage you and step up and help you along the way. Entrepreneurship in of itself is inclusive, and we typically don't like to share with other people because I think it's just one of those things where when we share, a lot of times it feels like we're giving away our ideas. Maybe that's good, maybe that's bad, but it's kind of a rebellious spirit nature of it. We really like to be different than everyone else, and I think that is an interesting fact of entrepreneurship. You can't kind of go against the grain a lot of things, and that's the way I kind of grew up. I did that a lot, and my wife often teases me about that, and but it's who I am. It's one of those things that it's not a rebellious spirit necessarily, but it is a way of looking at a task and seeing, is there another way to do it? Is there a better way to do it? Is there a issue that needs to be resolved through this? In my corporate life, I just got a phone call that in my corporate life, I got a lot of operational jobs, and also even in a public setting when I was with the police department, being able to see the whole operation from a bird's eye view and knowing how all the pieces fit in place. That's another one of my gifts that I believe I have, is just be able to see how the systems work together and or don't work together. I even majored in that aspect in college, just how this communication flows and different things like that. But I think through those things throughout my life, it has set me up to be a strong entrepreneur and to be able to do things. Now, I still have struggles. I am not perfect. I don't know it all. I try to glean from other people every day. I do some reading, but I do a lot of videos, and I've shared a lot of videos on different places and platforms. But so I'm not perfect. I struggle in marketing. I think that's probably one of my weakest areas. I'm trying to understand it more and more. At least the science of it is the most intriguing part of it. And so I like to go back to old school sales books, things like that, to be able to figure out how they did it 100 years ago and how that applies to today. But I would say if you are an aspiring entrepreneur, the one thing to start doing is just doing. Start selling something. It could be a service, it could be a product, it could be advice along the way, but start selling something. When you do that, you start learning. You can still learn from other people. I wouldn't say spend a lot of money doing that, because sometimes other people don't really, like I said earlier, don't know how to be an entrepreneur. They just know how to tell people what to do. But so I would say investigate that. Keep yourself knowledgeable about what's going on. Look for problems to solve. But in doing so, it's also got to be something that you're interested in and passionate about. So if you're going to sell a product, make sure that you are selling a product that you believe in and that it actually solves someone's problems. And then in marketing that, you've got to identify that problem that it solves, show people why it's better than what they're currently doing, and then give them a call to action to actually make a purchase on that product. That's just kind of my 2 cents this day, and hope you enjoy the video. I'm not sure where this will take us, but I'll keep doing videos as I can. Thanks. Take care.